rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392-3000 for more information or to schedule a tour with our admissions team, and we will answer any one of your questions. You can also visit our website at whitehallboca.com. For more information, call 561-392-3000. That's 561-392-3000. Whitehall Boca Raton is committed to provide you with the best medical care.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Do you have a hot new business or an established business that offers great and unique services or products that you want to get the word out? Are you looking to grow your business and you want everyone to hear the buzz about it? Do you have an amazing project or an idea that impacts our community that you want to share and get others involved in? Then you've come to the right place. You're listening to Community Connections with Norma G. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero, and I want to share our passions while connecting with our community. So now let's get ready to hear about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening on Community Connections with Norma G. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Good evening. Welcome to Community Connections with Norma G. You are listening to us on 95.3 FM at 1470 AM, as well as live on Facebook. You can watch us at Community Connections with Norma G. And I want to say, I hope you all had a nice weekend. It's Monday. It's the beginning of the week. It's been a little bit rainy, but we are here once again to bring a show that is filled with information. And hopefully you'll learn something and be inspired and feel a little bit better about yourself after today's show. We have a lot of interesting guests. Today is Monday, June 5th. And if you have any questions for our guests, you can reach us at 888-565-1470. And so, first and foremost, I want to thank our sponsors, Whitehall Boca Raton. They are a skilled nursing and rehab facility located in Boca Raton, Florida. And they are an inpatient, outpatient, short-term, and long-term care rehab that provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy and nursing services in the event of you have an injury or illness. And they're located at 7300 Del Prado Circle South, and they can be reached at whitehallboca.com at 561-392-3000. And you can call them to schedule a tour or to speak to the admissions department to see if your family member would qualify to enter there. So give them a call. It's a rehab facility that can help you. And so we are going to speak to our first guest that actually have a experience with Whitehall, interestingly enough. But we're going to have Renee Rodriguez and Marie Campice. They're the owners of Mr. Clean Bin Cleaner. Then we're going to also have Deborah Tendrich. She's the CEO and founder of Eat Better, Live Better, and they're a nonprofit organization to fight childhood obesity. And then we're going to close out the show with Mr. Wally Waiters, and he's an executive business coach and motivational speaker of Business Builders Academy, and he's going to give us a little bit of insight on how he can improve our business acumen and our goals of where we want to go. And so I want to first introduce Renee Rodriguez and Marie Campice. Is that correct? Did I say that right?
That's right. Good
job. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming here today.
Norma.
I'm so happy to have you on the show. You have an interesting story, an interesting background, and an interesting business. This Mr. Clean Bin Cleaner. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Great. And so tell me a little bit about how you guys came to be on the show here today.
Well, I was, my mother was being admitted to Whitehall, and I met the director there, Sergio Rodriguez, and he was so kind to offer me this opportunity when I offered him my services.
That's right. Oh, okay. So you kind of just told him what you did.
Exactly.
And he said, oh, wow, that would be a great subject matter on the show.
Exactly.
You know, and so because we have, Community Connections is the name of the show, and so we like to have a broad spectrum of information that people can find out about. And so how's your mom, by the way?
She's doing great.
She's doing all right?
She's in good hands. Like I was telling you earlier, she went from the low end of a place, which I won't mention, to Taj Mahal.
Yeah, yeah, it's got a nice big backyard, a patio, and and a lot of.
Stag's very nice, a lot of entertainment and stuff. So it looks very good.
Well, good. I'm glad that I hope that she's able to settle in and be comfortable there.
I'm sure.
I hope so. And so, this Mr. Clean Bin Cleaner, what is that all about? It took me a few minutes to grasp what it was. It's Mr.
Clean Bin Cleaner.
Okay.
So we're a family run and operated business, and we saw in looking around the various communities around South Florida that there was a great need for this type of service because, there's so much harm in all the garbage that we have exposing ourselves and our families to, and that there was no one providing this type of service. Yeah. So I'll let Renee explain it.
Yes, so I came out of retirement after seeing this on the site out of Michigan, and I did some more inquiries, and I decided to try to start this business. It's like I said, the filth and germs and bacteria that we have that you could catch from, especially here when we got heat all the time, it doesn't go away, and no one likes to clean their trash bin.
So we're talking about just your black bins, or are we talking about those blue and green and
The
yellow
ones
bins?
that are on the wheels.
Wheelie bins.
The really
wheelie
heavy
bins.
ones.
The 96-gallon wheelie bins.
And they're really deep.
Yes.
So it's not like you can stick your arm in
No.
there.
Or
Exactly.
that you want to.
Or that you want to. And
Right.
you always say you want to get your hose out there and get in there, but no one does it.
Exactly.
Okay, and so you're servicing residential homes, homeowner association type properties?
Yes, homeowner association is our prime target audience because it's all one location. Our system has an 8-stage filtration system. We recapture our own water. It's not spilled down the sewer stream. We provide 200 degrees Fahrenheit of heat, blast it for about 2 minutes, a minute and a half, and then sanitize it and sterilize it. We only have the only EPA registered PureGuard sanitizer, which we only one in the state that has that.
And so when I called you and we spoke on the phone, even though I looked at the website briefly, I didn't really still comprehend exactly what this service, until you directed me to the video.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And so if you go to your website, what's your website?
MrCleanBinCleaner.com.
Okay. And so when you go to the website and you check out this video, you have a big truck, and it has electric arms.
It has forks
Exactly.
that picks up, just like the trash cans. They have the same arms that lift it, but they only lift one at a time. We lift two at a time into a hopper, and it's blasted with high 200 degree Fahrenheit heat, as well as 35 horsepower pressure.
And would you say how often people should be cleaning their bins?
Once a month.
Once a month. And do you think that that's happening?
No,
Not even
close.
Not even
No?
close.
Not even
No.
close.
Not even close.
And we only do it for $10 per container per month.
$10 per container per month.
That's correct.
Okay, and so that's whether it be through a residential or whether through a homeowners association. But
Right.
ideally, if it's a homeowners association, you can go from one home to the next.
Right.
And
And
it's
we
just,
can cover a whole neighborhood at a time, which is the most ideal situation.
wow. And so how did you, again, how did you get into this business? What
I
made
was
you?
just searching the sites, and I just found it, and then I started doing some research on it, and then I contacted the manufacturer, which is Hydrochem in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then I went up there for training, and then got the machine delivered to me.
And now you have these high pressure kind of hoses as well. And so are you able to do pressure washing as well?
Yes, pressure cleaning as well for driveways, also for grocery stores. All those grocery carts. Think about that. Every time you walk into a grocery cart, you want to wipe everything down. You don't want to touch anything, and that would be a great service that a lot of big retailers should really think about, considering to have that done occasionally, perhaps.
Right. And so
You know?
you're just looking for different ways to be able to utilize this truck that you've now invested in,
Exactly.
and this pressure washer of how you
Right.
can help with keeping the hygiene and bacteria levels down.
It's a mobile cleaning service for all your needs.
Okay, and you mentioned the fact that the high heats that are in, especially the state of Florida here. I mean, it's 104 degrees sometimes.
Yes.
And so you have food, and you have
Older,
older.
odor. Oh, smell.
Odor. Yes,
Odor.
correct. You have food, you have odor, you have bacteria, and you have even probably, you could have soils. You could it be kind of.
You have, people that might live anywhere near big retail restaurants or shops and everything, and their dumpsters are back there. And they'll tell you, especially in the heat of the summer, if it's really busy, that odor starts seeping out. And, they would really benefit from having someone to take care of
the
that.
dumpsters that are around the around the backs of the restaurants.
And those we degrease with a degreaser, and then we fragrant it also after we get done, so it smells lemony.
That's great. It has a nice lemon smell. And so that's interesting because when you have all the droppings of the food, and then that causes, I imagine, rodents.
Rodents,
A lot of
insects. We don't need to go into all of it.
No. Well, I mean, sometimes
Right.
it's like you probably just, you probably sit there and say, okay, I want to go out there with my hose,
Right.
And just side of setting up your own pressure cleaner, like when you go to pressure clean your house. Now, you're not pressure cleaning homes.
Yes,
with this.
yes, driveways and roofs.
Okay.
Yes. Condominiums, I do the poolside.
So it's a full-blown pressure cleaning
Sure.
service
Yes.
as well as the bin cleaner.
That's
Right,
correct.
Correct.
But it's okay. Wow.
But that's the only way we separate from the other pressure washer company is the bins. Hardly no one's doing the bins.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of like your little niche.
That's our niche.
Right.
That's
That's
the
your
niche.
niche.
Exactly.
Well, when you see the truck, it's almost like a happy, friendly looking kind of truck.
Sure,
It's got a cute little smile on the side of it, and here it is right here. You see the little bin cleaner right there, and you see the truck, and it's I just thought it was very interesting, and I could see why Sergio over at Whitehall when he met you, and just thought it was just an interesting thing to share with the listeners that if there is an HOA president or someone that is connected to someone, that it would be interesting to share that information with someone that maybe something that that they want to have the community. You guys go out there and
and we're willing to give a free demonstration.
and sit down with them and
Sure,
see what it would
sure.
be.
Right.
And so wonderful. And so tell me again the website and the phone number and your email.
It's MrCleanBinCleaner.com. The phone number that you can reach us at is 800-914-0898.
Wow.
And Mr. is just MR. No, not spelled out.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to ask you is that if you what service area are you serving here in South Florida?
All the tri-counties.
All the Tri-County?
Miami, Broward, and West Palm.
Wow,
Palm
so
Beach.
that's a large territory. And
It
how
is.
many trucks do you have at the moment?
Just one.
Just the one truck.
Just one, yeah.
Okay,
They're quite,
great.
They're quite expensive.
Yeah, I imagine so because
Need
they're
to get
pretty
more
big.
accounts.
It's
Yeah.
pretty big. Need
Yeah.
more accounts. All right.
Sure.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time and
Thank
sharing
you.
with us about that, about this very, very interesting service that you're providing. I'd love to see you be able to continue to have that grow here in South Florida because I think it is very important. Because when you look at the bottom of those bins,
Oh, yeah.
they are kind of gross. They are kind of gross, and
They are.
and it's hard to reach in there,
Yeah.
to go ahead and do that. And so,
And I
they-
think it's a great service as well for restaurants, So,
And may I add that we're also minority owned, service disabled veteran owned, and we also just got certified with the disadvantaged business enterprise. That's for the government Department of Transportation.
yeah, because you mentioned that you may be
We have a contract
looking some contracts that have to do with
for
the.
Fort Lauderdale Airport. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Well, yes, I know we had a very, very incredible conversation when we were on the phone together and your background and history, that you are quite inspirational yourself, Renee, saying that you've came out of retirement and that you've decided that you want to, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what you said, why you wanted to. I mean, of course, anybody who sometimes wants to work for two reasons. They want to make some money, or you said you were.
I was bored.
Yeah,
I was bored.
that's exactly what you
I was
said.
bored.
Meaning, like you're young, you're strong,
Right.
Right.
and you still have desire to want to
Exactly.
to get up and move. And so I think it's very inspirational on your end that you have the desire to do that, because as a veteran, you've put in your time,
Exactly.
and you've had your experiences. And so thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
As I
You're
said to you the other
welcome.
day, and thank you so much for bringing your lovely daughter in
Thank you
here
for
today.
having us.
And it was so nice to meet you guys, and I wish you guys well. So give Mr. Bin Cleaner, Mr. Clean Bin,
Bin Cleaner.
I know, it's a little bit of play on words. Mr. Clean Bin Cleaner a call, and you can find them at 800-914-0398. And the website again is
MrCleanBinCleaner.com.
Wonderful. We will be right back we are going to have Deborah Tendrich, the CEO and founder of Eat Better, Live Better, and she's going to be talking about her mission and passion to fight childhood obesity. We'll be right back.
Do you suffer from back, joint, or muscle soreness? Recovery with HydroFX is the doctor-recommended all-natural solution you've been looking for. Now, available in the U.S., Recovery with HydroFX is a specialized product for headaches, back, joint, and muscle soreness. Get back to feeling great today and order your 30-day supply of Recovery with HydroFX. Call 1-800-994-5361 and take advantage of this limited radio offer. That's 1-800-994-5361.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392-3000 for more information or to schedule a tour with our admissions team, and we will answer any one of your questions. You can also visit our website at whitehallboca.com. For more information, call 561-392-3000. That's 561-392-3000. Whitehall Boca Raton is committed to provide you with the best medical care.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Welcome back to Community Connections with Norma G. And we are here with Miss Deborah Tendrich.
Yes.
And also she has one of her mentees.
Yes.
You said? One of her mentees, Valeria Munoz. Welcome.
Thank you.
And they are here to talk about Eat Better, Live Better. And Deborah is the CEO and founder, and this is a nonprofit organization that she has put together based on personal experience related to fighting childhood obesity. But first, I want to say that you're listening to us at 95.3 FM or at 1470 AM, and you can watch us live on Facebook at Community Connections with Norma G. And you can also, if you have any questions for our callers, for our guests, you can reach us at 888-565-1470. And so, Deborah, tell me a little bit about what Eat Better, Live Better is, and how and why you're so passionate about this.
So Eat Better, Live Better, like you said, is a nonprofit that is fighting childhood obesity. Mm-hmm. I was an obese child, became an obese adult, and in 2013 I lost 70 pounds. And my daughter, she actually was borderline ADHD, and when I changed her diet, it all went away.
Wow.
So firsthand, I know what nutrition could do positively or negatively to a family and what the transition from unhealthy to healthy takes.
And so Valeria here, you say that she's one of your mentees. In what respect? Like, what are you mentoring her for?
So there's a program called the Viner Mentorship Scholarship where they actually raised $1 million plus to fund a 4-year scholarship to college. She's one of the recipients. All recipients of the scholarship are assigned a mentor so they could actually fulfill their college experience with guidance and a support system. So I'm her support system to get her through her college years.
You're going to college?
Yes.
When?
Florida Atlantic University and in the fall.
In the fall?
Yes.
Wow. So you just graduated?
Yes.
Like today?
Like in May. Yeah, very recently.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow. And do you have any idea what you want to study?
Definitely. Communications and journalism.
Oh, so that's why she brought you in here today, to get a little feel for the radio.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. Well, there's your camera right there. You can smile.
The wave.
Wonderful. Well, that's so great. That's beautiful. And so Eat Better, Live Better is a nonprofit.
We are.
Correct?
We're 501c3.
Okay. And so you are... you mentioned something to me about that you're reaching out to the community centers here locally?
So I actually combat childhood obesity through 4 different avenues. I go into community centers and daycares and private schools to enforce a curriculum for 5th grade and under. I have a special curriculum that's effective for learning and understanding nutrition, and one for 6th grade and older to actually teach the kids, middle and high school students, how to become nutritionally self-sufficient. They go off with their friends and order food. They don't know how to order healthy or even make small shifts to become healthier. Or they're going off to college and we're trying to alleviate that freshman 15.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we want them to know how
The freshman 15, I call it the dorm butt.
Yeah, the dorm butt.
Dorm butt. You're all of a sudden in a dorm, you're studying all the time, and so your butt grows. That's what I was...
And you eat unhealthy. Right. Well,
is that right?
I guess. I mean, it's the same concept. Basically, you go up to college, you have to make your own decisions, get your own food, and you might not understand how to eat healthy or even eat healthy on a budget. Mm-hmm. So our curriculum really enforces these kids how to become nutritionally self-sufficient. Another interesting thing that's really not out there is I have a healthy advocacy workshop. So basically the leaders of the community, the teachers, the faculty of the community centers, and even other nonprofit organizations or community-based businesses who deal with the community on a day-to-day basis, they all preach healthy initiative, but really they have no idea how to be healthy themselves. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you got to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Sure.
So I have it's a half-a-day healthy advocacy workshop where we really teach the kids, the actual leaders of the community how to become advocates, and also how nutrition and childhood obesity directly relates to bullying, anxiety, depression, teen suicide, crimes.
Wow.
All these things, early onset puberty. Can you imagine a girl hitting puberty way too young and getting hit on by these older men because she's overdeveloped at a young age because of all the hormones in her food? And how at 11 years old, psychologically, if her parents aren't there for her, her dad left her, and now all of a sudden this 23-year-old guy thinks she's beautiful, hits on her because she's overdeveloped in her early on. How psychologically can she really handle that?
Right, she can't.
No.
She can't. And it's incredible that you kind of went through this journey yourself, and now you find yourself in a position as kind of like a leader and a champion. It's pretty impressive for someone like yourself, a young person, younger than myself, but, to be having your own nonprofit, and you're so passionate about wanting to educate people on multiple levels, not only the children, because that's what you're specifically passionate about, but also the leaders of these community centers.
They need to know.
Because you have to almost you have to teach them so they sort of you can't teach everyone. So you have to teach the people that are involved in that. But you and I got into an interesting conversation related to because you met Sergio through Whitehall.
I did.
And so you were at what type of event that you met Sergio?
It was at the Boca West Country Club, and I'm not sure which one. I go to about 10 events a day, feels like.
Okay.
But so it was one a few
You're
months
a warrior.
ago. Yeah, they call me networking queen / athlete. So so it was one of them, but I do remember meeting him, and he reached out to me and said this would be a great opportunity for me to help share my mission.
And why I say that is because of the importance as well as nutrition, not only obviously in young children or young adults, or just adults in general, but the nutrition in the elderly. And you were talking about the disease processes that people have. So what are your thoughts on that a little bit?
Well, lifespan is an interesting topic because you can live longer, but is the quality of life up to your standards? Do you want to rely on medicine to stay alive those extra 20 years where you're relying on doctors to keep you alive? All the medications that you're going to have to take, all the trips to the doctor's office. Would you rather rely on medicine to keep you alive for those extra 20 years, or would you rather have a very long, active, energetic lifestyle and have a short, quick, pain-free death, instead of this long, dragged-out, painful, doctor-ridden, extra, 20 years added to your lifespan. The nutrition growing up and the lifestyle you lead has a huge impact on the latter years.
The latter years.
And a lot of people, especially if they're athletes or if they don't have actual physical obesity, don't think about, well, I'm not overweight, or, well, I work out every day. And internally, your body cannot handle these chemicals, hormones, and these processed foods that you're feeding them, and they will catch up to you at one point or the other in one way, from skin disease to, cardiovascular disease. There's a number of ways that these foods can affect you.
And when you're looking at illness or injury, there's, just off the top of my head, whenever anyone gets sick or ill, you want to rebuild muscle and strength. And so nutrition is extremely important with that. If someone has a wound, either a wound from something that broke down or a wound after a surgery, that's another thing that needs to heal, and the proper nutrition promotes proper, wound healing.
Yeah, you have to have as little inflammation in the body as possible to heal as fast as possible. And if you're eating all these foods with contaminants or pro-inflammatory foods, your healing process alone is going to be slowed down exponentially.
Yeah, and one of the other things that just came to my head related to recovery of rehabilitation is also when you're thinking about endurance or energy. A lot of people have cardiovascular or pulmonary type of conditions, and energy is a huge component. And so what types of foods would you say promote energy, for example?
Well, there's 3 types of food that are, for energy, which is protein, carbohydrate, and fats. So, carbohydrates are the quick bursts of energy, and fats and protein are more of a long-lasting energy. You just need to know what the good proteins are, the good fats, and the good carbohydrates are that will fuel your body properly, but you do need to be hydrated fully too, or else your body and your muscles can't function like they need to. So it's just a big network of good foods and hydration combined to, the good lifestyle and healthy living. And
how much water do you recommend one drinks a day?
She pulls out her cup. She's like,
how much?
She's like, I'm proving it. I do drink my water.
Yes.
I drink a gallon a day.
A gallon? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's probably 4 of those, maybe, or 6?
That's like, the 32-ounce bottles of water. That's 4 of those.
Okay.
128 ounces.
All right, yeah.
So 8 16-ounce bottles or 16 8-ounce bottles, however you want to break it up. One cool tip I have, if you want your goal to be a gallon, you buy a gallon jug and you mark it with different times of the day. So you have goals throughout the day. So you might have 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, and you interval the jug with the times of the day, so people know by 10 o'clock I have to drink this inch. By noon, this inch has to be gone. And it actually breaks up the bottle into inches instead of like these bottles.
Sure.
So it's pretty effective. I know a lot of people have...
Yeah, I've done really well with just carrying that around with me. Sometimes I walk into a restaurant forgetting that they serve water at the restaurant or a drink there. I'm just so habitually used to carrying it with me.
Right.
And it's a cute cup.
Yes, thank you. They sell them at the stores around town. Whatever. I like. That's the one I like personally. So, what are your thoughts on vitamins and supplements, protein supplements, green supplements, those types of things?
They're all great, but if you eat the nutrients and eat those vitamins, your vegetables will give you a lot. You don't necessarily absorb all the vitamins you take if you take them in a pill form. You don't really can't quantify how much you're actually absorbing from those. If you're eating healthy and you have those vitamins, you can't really go wrong.
That's a very valid point, and the reason why I say that only because right now one of the sponsors we have the show is an organic plant-based company called 7.2, and 7.2 is the mid-balance point between acidity and alkalinity, and so what happens is. It's all great, to say that can we eat perfect all the day, but the problem is that people aren't, and so sometimes the supplements are helping people kind of get what they're missing, what they may be fulfilling with fast food.
Yeah,
and so we know that fast food has a lot of what's the word I want to use? Chemicals and
hormones.
Yes, all those types of things in it.
Fake. It's not even real food.
Right, and so it's interesting that this particular company that I've been meeting and speaking with this gentleman, Mike Zanardelli, and he has really talked about the overall benefits of health and wellness, and also just having a boost in your system related to protein and to greens. And so I think that it's important that if you're not living in this perfect kind of dietary thing. That obviously living off of regular, natural, whole, organic foods is probably the best, I think. But what if you can't do that all the time? Either it's too expensive,
Yeah,
or
but frozen vegetables are always better than French fries from a fast food restaurant.
Absolutely.
Any day. And it's the same price, probably less expensive to buy that way. So even if it's not organic, you can still make small improvements until you can completely adjust to that fully organic, healthy, wholesome diet. There's still a lot of things you can alter that aren't a huge lifestyle or financial adjustment. Like I just mentioned, there's always a step up and a way to improve. And like I tell people, excellence isn't something you're born with, it's something you practice. And if you have to practice it every day to become as excellent as possible. Like how many times, one of my favorite things is how many times did you fall down when you were learning how to walk?
many.
But
I'm
how
sure.
many?
I don't know. Probably a lot. I don't know. I was too young to remember.
The point is that you learn how to walk, right?
Yes.
The diet's the same thing, and becoming excellent is the same thing. You have to keep striving for it because it doesn't matter how many times you fall down. It's just the end result is that you walked.
And in your background, was it something that you were overweight as a teenager?
I started gaining weight at 7.
At 7. And then when did you finally say enough's enough?
2013, I lost my weight.
2013, and so that was
26 years old.
26 years old, and so and it was exercise and diet was your main thing. Anything else was a contributing factor? Was it someone? Was it a person? Particular type of gym? A particular type of workout? In your particular story?
Well, I only decided to try to become healthy to shut everybody up. They were all telling me to be healthy, and I was like, I'm not interested. I love who I am. I was already happy. And I said, fine, I'll work out and eat right for 30 days. And after I do that, you could never mention it to me again. And I ended up falling in love with it during those first 30 days. And
you liked the way you looked and you liked the way you felt.
No, not even that. I just had never tried it before. And what I found is that I found a fitness I liked. And I was able to be consistent with the diet. And after the first 30 days, it just almost felt normal that quickly because I did not cheat on my diet. I did not cheat on my workout. And it became, within those 30 days, acclimated to my everyday routine.
Wow.
And my daughters, my daughter was a bigger hassle than mine because, kids can't express their mood swings or when those toxins are leaving their bodies too. They do just like an adult without coffee. They get cranky. They throw tantrums. So I wasn't only dealing with mine, I was dealing with hers.
Yes.
And a lot of parents don't finish the process with their kids because the kids throw tantrums. They cry. They get cranky. They are sleepy. They're going through the same withdrawal symptoms an adult would for sugar or for, carbs or coffee. And the kids do that too. But you have to be able to deal with it, get past that, and then it just becomes a healthy family.
And so what's the name of your company here?
Eat Better, Live Better.
And so what's the website and phone number if people wanted to reach out to you?
eblb.org. eblb.org. And I'll give everyone my direct line. If I can't answer, I answer and reply back within 2 hours. 678-428-3370. 678-428-3370. I'm servicing all Palm Beach County right now. And can we talk about the event?
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I wanted to ask her real quick. We're going to talk. She's got a slew of events happening that she can do. Valeria,
Yes.
what have you learned from Deborah?
So far, I've learned, to definitely adopt a healthy lifestyle, which isn't, I have tried to adopt a healthy lifestyle, so she definitely, when we first met, there was a bunch of desserts around, and I definitely, had to watch what I picked out, and it was really fun to, get to know her and get to meet her because she's very personable. And I have learned, to kind of come out of my shell and, take chances and get out of my comfort zone in order to grow.
Wow. And how did you guys meet?
We met at a luncheon that Eden Viner, the Viner Scholarship hosted. So that was fun.
And that scholarship, tell me again, that scholarship is because what did you have to do to obtain the scholarship?
I filled out an application that kind of encompasses, essays and just details about yourself. And then after that, I went to an interview with the some of the people that are involved in the program, and I also met with Ida and Cliff Biner personally, and then they reached out to me afterwards.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Well, that's awesome.
And out
so,
of all their applications, they only chose 35 of the top elite students, and she's one of those top 35.
wow.
That's
wow.
incredible. And she's mine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might adopt her. I need an intern over here. So we might have to talk about that. So,
That'd be great.
okay. So now, Eat Better, Live Better. You're all over the place. You have all kinds of events coming up. For the summer, for the fall, and stuff. And so, what events do you have coming up?
I don't want to go into this one much, but if you guys are trying to buy any Father's Day gifts or just go shopping for fun for a purpose, on Wednesday at the Vineyard Vines at Boca Town Center Mall from 7 to 9 p.m. we'll have fruit and, something to drink there for you guys to come shop. And 10% off plus 10% of all sales between 7 and 9 on Wednesday go to Eat Better, Live Better.
What is Vineyards Vines?
It's a clothing store. It has
Okay.
men's, women's, and children's clothing plus accessories.
Okay.
And so that's Wednesday. Don't want to go into it, but I'll see you there.
That's this Wednesday, June 7th.
This Wednesday, yes. Mm-hmm. However, the big event for June is the Pledge Per Step Challenge. There's a guy named Ashwin, and he is amazing. He's simultaneously at the age of 17, simultaneously, he got his bachelor's degree, high school diploma, and got accepted into Southeastern University as a med student. And he's 22 now, entering his fourth year as a medical school. So he's incredible. He's smart. He also walks on his hands. So in support of Eat Better, Live Better, I got the local district with 46 clubs for the Rotary to eradicate polio, the post-pediatric oncology support team, which helps with kids the families of the kids who go through cancer, and also Unicorn Foundation, which helps with kids with neurodisorders. We're doing a quarter split between all four charities. Ashwin is going to walk on his hands, and people have the opportunity to pledge between 1 penny and $1 for each hand step that he takes. He is going to try to beat the Guinness Book of World Records, which is 5 kilometers in 8 hours, and he wants to double it. But his goal is to really just raise awareness for these four charities, help raise money, and beat the Guinness Book of World Records on our behalf. So in order for people to pledge, we need the pledge forms in advance. Before June 20th, they can go to my website, eblb.org, and download the PDF form, the pledge form, and then they can send it in to us. And we will not run anyone's card until after the event is complete, but they're going to commit to that amount per step. And they also have an opportunity to make an additional pledge if he beats the Guinness Book of World Records.
What is the record?
It's the 5 kilometers in 8 hours.
Walking on his hands.
Yeah.
Non-stop?
Yeah. So basically how it works is
How many steps is that?
it's about 10,000.
Wow.
So someone who commits to 1 penny, that's only about $100. But if someone decided to do a dollar, that'll be $10,000. So depending on your financial ability, we are splitting this 4 ways. So you have the potential to really make a difference in all 4 of the charities.
Right.
And I have a Zumbathon, which is my next really big one too. Our goal, it's going to be at the South Florida Fairgrounds,
All right.
July 27th, and we're
So to find out about the events, that you just go to your website,
go to our website, yeah.
just go to your website. Just I have to wrap up this segment
Yeah,
now
of course.
to have our last segment. But listen, girls, ladies, young ladies, it's a pleasure to meet the both of you. You're super knowledgeable. You're super passionate, and I know that a lot of people suffer from a lot of ailments and a lot of sickness and obesity. And diet is huge, and so you can never get enough information of it to remember what's good foods, what's good fats, what's lean proteins, and those types of things. So thank you so much. Reach out to Deborah, and we will be right back with Wally Waiters.
Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Feel like you've tried everything and nothing works? Studies show if we are out of balance or too acidic, it can directly affect our sleep. Now, a new doctor-formulated solution is available directly to you. Alkaline Boosters is a fast and natural way to get a restful night's sleep. Take advantage of this promotional offer to buy your Alkaline Boosters today and start sleeping better tomorrow. Call 1-800-994-5361. That's 1-800-994-5361.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392-3000 for more information or to schedule a tour with our admissions team, and we will answer any one of your questions. You can also visit our website at whitehallboca.com. For more information, call 561-392-3000. That's 561-392-3000. Whitehall Boca Raton is committed to provide you with the best medical care.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Welcome back to Community Connections with Norma G, and I am super, super excited about this final segment of the show. We have a very, very special guest, as all my guests are always special, but when you have the opportunity to sit down with someone that you've known for a very, very long time, and they're super excited about where they want to, go with their business and stuff, it's nice to have that opportunity. And so may I now introduce Mr. Wally Waiters, who is a very good friend of mine for 20 plus years now.
20 plus years. Can you believe it? Oh, how the time flies.
And can you believe that here we are sitting here on this microphone sharing all this incredible information.
Oh, absolutely.
Wally had the opportunity to sit in here while we had the previous guests on. And Wally is an executive business coach, a motivational speaker for Business Builders Academy, and he also is in the television production business for Profile Series Productions. Yes,
and so you
have an amazing background with television production, and you saw me doing this radio show, and you reached out to me.
It was a funny thing. I was talking to a friend of mine the day before, and I said, maybe I need to do a radio show, and then I look on Facebook, and there's Norma the next day, so it was definitely something divine.
Had you seen me in the previous months before at all?
I've never seen you at all.
Because I'm on every week.
I had no clue.
And then, really, because I've been on every week since October, every Monday, and you never ran into any of the posts.
Not once.
Until the day that you... And that's interesting because it's a feed, and that's okay, but that's why many times people say, related to social media, you should have multiple posts a couple different times of the week.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to catch everybody at the same second.
And I'm on there a lot lately, and I never caught her before, so I believe my eyes were maybe open for that particular day.
And that happens. Isn't that funny how that happens? And so tell me that you heard the previous guest that we just had on.
Yes.
They're inspirational.
Oh, absolutely. Very inspirational.
So you don't have to necessarily be an inspirational speaker to be inspirational. However, you do have the gift and talent to be able to speak in front of crowds and speak, uplifting messages to help people get rid of the barriers and roadblocks that sometimes are in their lives, either personally or professionally. So share with me a little bit about that, that area of your life that you want to now kind of spend a little bit different type of time in.
Well, it's different. It's a funny thing. When people ask me, where do I get my inspiration? It comes from on high, because I don't really sit there and think about things. It just sort of flows to me. I might hear one word, and from that word, it just resonates with my spirit. And then I start to develop whatever that message, and I know that all the messages that I develop are for a very particular portion of the people who are listening to me. Maybe not for everyone, but for that. So what I've been doing, I've been in business now for about 15 years. Profile Series Productions. I really believe that I have a calling to speak and share a message that's really going to help and change people's lives. And specifically, in this particular case, what I'm looking at is business owners, I'm looking at CEOs, I'm looking at entrepreneurs, people who have a dream or a vision of something that they want to create in life.
And so now if someone is already a CEO or a business owner, Aren't they already living their dream and in their life?
That's what you would think. And I want to share my story really quick.
Tell me.
You know, I remember I started my business, and the reason that I started my business, I wanted to have freedom. But I got exactly the opposite. And what I mean by that? Well, I tried to do everything. I built my first website. I would follow up and look over everyone's shoulder to make sure they didn't make a mistake, because a mistake would mean a lot of money. And I think as a lot of business owners, we want to hold on to every single element, even though we have people in place who can help us out and who can do the job. So what I found after several years, I said, I can't do this, because I was working long hours. I was never home. I was, and don't get me wrong, I like to work, but I wasn't taking vacations and didn't have that freedom. And I finally discovered, in order to have that freedom, I have to trust and allow people, trust them that they're capable of doing their job, and allow them to do it without me breathing down their necks.
So it's a matter of really kind of the art of letting go of some of the control, because when you're the CEO or you're the owner, you built that baby from the beginning, and now as you grow, you have these people in place, but no one does it as good as you. Is how to delegate and how to let go some of that control.
Yes, that's correct. And part of it, what I tell you, it's done in my growth. My limiting beliefs for other people's talents and abilities actually stopped me from growing. And what I realized is that I had to make some changes, make sure I brought in the right people, not just someone who was a friend or a family member. Not that that's wrong, because sometimes that can work out, but I realized I signed up for freedom and I wasn't getting it. So I finally said, you know what? Let me go ahead and make a change. So I really put it out there, and I really wrote down the ideal people that I wanted to work for my company. And it's amazing, once you put something on paper, it just starts to manifest and come to pass. So quick story about that, and I remember for years, never took a vacation. We would do the weekend stops at Disney World, 2 days away. I never took a 1 week vacation. And one day I decided, you know what? I'm going to take a 1 week vacation. We planned it out a while back, and I remember I went to the gym one morning. And on my way back from the gym, I started getting these heart palpitations. I'm like, great, the day of my vacation, 1 week, now I'm getting heart palpitations, what's going on? So I went to the urgent care center, and what the doctor told me changed my life forever. He said, young man, I was young back then, he said, I've seen this happen so many times with guys your age. You better take a big check and just learn how to relax and let go of control. I wasn't the only one out there. So my whole point was so I made a change in my life. I decided, you know what? I went on my vacation. I was totally stressed out, electronic devices, iPhones, everything else to try to send emails, and I realized that wasn't right. So it took me 2 or 3 days to wind down. But I realized something. When talking to other entrepreneurs, we all have that same problem. We don't want to take a vacation because we're afraid if we go out of town, guess what? Everything is going to stop. There's going to be no more production, no money coming in. Oh, my gosh. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. And now, so the next year comes around. I had the perfect team in place. And I can tell you something. My head person at the time, her name was Manuela. She said, Wally, don't worry about it. We got your back. And I got to tell you, I had so much peace. But it took me years to be able to allow people and cultivate people to get them trained up in the right place where they can do the job themselves.
And so I think when you just said that I signed up for freedom, which is kind of like when someone's like, I don't want to work for someone else, I want to work for myself. So you're signing up for freedom, but you get the opposite.
You got bondage.
You got bondage.
Yes.
And so what you're saying is that in order to, but you really are, if you do it properly, are signing up for freedom, because you don't have to answer to someone else, if you will. And that's the ultimate goal. And so that's that's one of the barriers that you find with executive business coaching, that you can help someone to trust and to delegate. And what's another barrier, do you think, that someone would utilize needing a business coach?
There's a lot of different things. And one of the things, you ever heard the mentality sink or swim?
Sink or swim.
Okay. Where that's derived from is that throwing someone into the pool and seeing whether they sink or swim. And I have one big problem with that. Every single person I knew that was thrown into the pool and taught how to swim, they were terrorized. They were fearful. Even if they learned how to swim, they were a very fearful person. What I believe in is making sure that when you hire the proper people, you don't give them a sink or swim mentality. Some business owners, we just want to sink or swim them. I don't believe that. I believe if you hire a quality person and you invested that time in bringing them on and paying them a salary, that you have to train them in the way that they should go. Take the time, identify what their position is, exactly what they're supposed to do, and make sure they understand their role in the company. And if you don't invest that time in the people, it's not going to work. You may have a couple of what you call the one-hit wonder who does phenomenal for 2 months and then he sort of fizzles out. Or you may have the person, that 1 in a million person who works out. But I believe if you want to increase the odds, help your business to succeed, You have to make sure people have a roadmap of where they should go. I call it the ICE principle. Number one, I for clear instruction. Here's your job. C, consequences. And through an E, execution. So I believe if every person knows this is your job, here's your responsibility, you train them the way they should go, you give them the consequence for not doing their job, and you execute, whether it be retraining or warning them or even firing them at a certain point. But I think a lot of business owners run a pretty loose camp because they feel that you don't want to waste time, and they believe they're on that mill of just hiring people over and over and over again. And I used to do that. But I realized once I started to settle down, hire people, train them for their jobs, then that when I built up a good executive team of people that freed me up to do what I wanted to do. And that's what I'm really wanting to help business owners to do, is to really realize and actualize that freedom that they signed up for.
That's incredible. So when you have a client that you can either meet them in person or you can consult with them on the phone,
Yes.
do you ever go to their businesses to assess and observe their interactions with employees, those types of things?
I do that thing on a rare occasion if they're local here in Boca, but I work with people all over the country. And what we do is with social media and with a lot of different of these applications now, I can have what we call Zoom conversations where actual virtual meetings on video. We have groups like Voxer that we can talk back and forth on a daily basis. And of course, we have a closed Facebook group called the Business Builders Academy that we can actually interact on a daily basis with questions or comments, and more or less just creating a mastermind group of other CEOs, executives, and entrepreneurs. We can actually encourage and feed off of each other. So with technology has made this so much easier to communicate.
Right, because you can have a face-to-face interview or a session.
Yes.
With somebody on the phone. And, the way I see it is kind of like, if you can be at your top or, in a successful position, it's how to either stay successful, reduce the stress levels, or even become more successful. And so sometimes you don't have to be at the bottom in order to want to have a coach.
No, you don't.
You want to be an elite person and stay elite or acquire eliteness.
Absolutely. There's one of the people I listen to a lot, Darren Hart. He talks about that most successful people have several coaches, a coach for every area of their life. Because you know what? As an entrepreneur, as a leader, you sort of stand out. And you have to have someone who's a mentor or someone who's a coach to invest in you when you want to go to that next level in the various areas of your life. You can have a relationship coach, a personal trainer. You can have a business coach. If you have another specialized area, you can have a coach for that too.
Or like the young gal Deborah that was just here, like a nutritional type of health
Right.
coach. That type of thing as well. So that's incredible. Wally, what I always have found fascinating about you and knowing you, over many, many years, is that you have a natural knack for, how would you define wisdom? Because I find that you have an insight when you look at things, when you analyze things, that no one walks away from you, whether they want to hear the information or not, but nonetheless, you may challenge that person for the better, in love. And so what's your thoughts on wisdom? Because I feel that you have a natural knack for wisdom and being able to see things.
You know what? I believe a lot of people can see things, but they're just not tuned in. Just like a radio frequency. You want to tune into the station, you have to go to 95.3. So
This station, that's for sure.
This station,
Yes.
for sure. My point is, you can't tune on 106.5. You're not going to get this station. For me, I have a natural knack for seeing things. I've always been a seer, and I've always had messages come to me from on high that I stop, I tune in, and I listen. And I used to be afraid to use this gift. A fear of judgment, what are people going to say? But I've learned how to cultivate it in a way that people don't even have to know where it's coming from. But I listen and I apply the knowledge. And again, I trust myself now. When I get a message for someone, it's very specific. When I get a teaching, I do a lot of Facebook videos. And usually those come from inspiration, and I know it's not for everyone. And I share it, and I know it's going to minister to a few people out there who hear it. And for me, it's more or less getting tuned in. And a lot of times as a business owner, we run around all the time. We're busy all day long, and we don't take a break for ourselves. And I've learned that the times that I slow down, take a time of peace, read the Word, pray, meditate, and just be still, then I start to hear these things, and I start to cultivate these messages. And I always pray for the people before I send the message out as well, silently, just so you guys know that.
Okay. Well, And that's what I've always kind of, felt about you is that, someone could, share with you a little bit about what's going on with themselves, and that you always had a word of encouragement or of, why don't you look at it this way, look at it that way. Not that the average person can't do that either, but you seem to have a very penetrating, piercing kind of gift. I call it a gift.
Yes.
To be able to, help people really kind of like, if you keep going in the same direction, when I really need to turn left or right.
Exactly.
And you kind of help pave the way a little bit for that. And so, it's been such a pleasure to kind of get back in touch with you and to hear about how you're doing and how you want to continue to develop in this particular area now with executive business coaching. Wally, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's your website, your Facebook page, and your phone number?
Okay, first of all, my website is wallywaiters.com, and I'll spell it out for you. It's WAIWALI wallywaiters.com. So it's Wally, W-A-L-I, Waiters, W-A-I-T-E-R-S.com. If you want to find me easier, you can hit me up on Facebook. Again, search my name, Wally Waiters, spelled with W-A-L-I and W-A-I-T-E-R-S as well. My phone number, if you want to get in touch with me, you can reach me directly, 561-602-4201. And one more thing I'd like to share here. I just was published as an author in a book. It's called Journey to the Stage. And I wrote a chapter on gratitude. And I believe that gratitude is something that's important no matter what you do in life. And what I do, if you go to my Facebook page, there's a book. You can order it. It's only 99 cents. Just click on a link and email me the receipt. And what I'm going to be offering for you guys is this. I am going to do a free 7-day training on Facebook as part of a group called the Business Builders Academy. And I'm going to offer you a lot of tips how you can identify your ideal client, tips on how to generate revenue, tips how to become the expert in what you're doing. This is only for a certain frame mind of people. Know who those people are, Norma?
Who's that?
They're action takers, not action fakers. In other words, entrepreneurs, leaders, and business owners who really want to make a difference. And just hit me up on Facebook, and all you have to do is say, I'm in, I want to be a part of this, and we'll include you in the group.
So that's the word for the week. Are you an action taker or an action faker?
Yes, that is correct.
I'd like to consider myself an action taker.
And I always say I'm proud of this young lady for sure.
Thank you so much, Wally. It's so great to have you here in the studio, and I wish you well on continuing to grow and with your business building academy business. So we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for tuning in to Community Connections, and have a fabulous, fabulous week, and stay dry, everyone. Have a great week. You've been listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We will be back next Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. with new guests to share about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Did you hear something you liked today on our show? Please contact me, Norma G, at 954-802-2015,